Yeah, so thank you again for the amazing talks you bring to us. I learned a lot this afternoon. And first is best because our audience haven't got a chance to hear from you directly. So do you want to start our conversation by a brief introduction about yourself?
Of course.
Uh-huh.
Hello, I'm Bas in het Veld. I'm with the team that's doing the VR demos over there. So you might have seen our work. Yeah, I'm the lead developer there. So.
Do you want to briefly introduce your work?
Yes.
What it's
so
about?
what we're doing VR interaction between people. It's a sort of whenever. Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of a blackout. We've had a very long day, and we've had a very long day yesterday. A lot of work. Our work involves people being in VR. So you're wearing a VR headset. You see the other people, but you're not in the same room. So, but we still allow people to communicate with each other. Mm-hmm. So, and for example, one of the interesting things we're doing right now is a Hamlet play, for example, a Shakespeare play, mm-hmm. where we have an actual motion capture stage where people are have a full suit of motion capture equipment. They're doing an actual play, and you can actually be there in VR and watch this play, which is very interesting because normally when you watch a play, you watch as an audience, you watch the stage. But now you can actually be among the actors, you can actually see them moving around, and this brings a lot of interesting things. So this is one of the projects we're doing.
Cool.
And you might have seen other things we're doing.
Cool, yeah. So I think one of the themes arise to the conversation already through this afternoon's talk. It's about real-world application of this kind of amazing and cutting-edge technology. So I was wondering, because all of you guys present a lot of amazing projects across different fields. So I was wondering, in order to, are there anything has to happen, or are there any challenge for us to really apply this technology into people's daily life in a large scale? Are there any constraints on it, such is it the processing power we need to do to analyze and to do all the work, or is it the speed of internet or cost and so on? Yeah, you want to start?
So I could speak for EEG technology right now. I feel like all of the software has kind of hit a ceiling, and that ceiling is where hardware arises, and having sensors that are very effective and have a very low signal to noise ratio and that kind of thing. And so I'm more on the software side, I guess, and I constantly am running into issues where I feel like we're still 5 or 10 years off and having the proper kind of sensors that we would really love to be able to work with right now.
Mm-hmm. But so what aspect of the sensor is more the noise level, or the cost, or?
I think all of those.
All of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So how about for the other field? Yeah.
So coming from a technology background, more about data technology. So in the past 18 months, things have changed a lot. You guys probably remember Intel acquired Altera for $17.6 billion about a year ago. So that's one testament that the CPU we see today are being fundamentally changed potentially in the next couple of years. Technologies like FPGA ASICs, ASIC chipset, they are fundamentally changing, are going to change our, life in the future. And also in terms of software, that's the hardware part, right? On the other hand, the software also has undergone huge change. Now, you do realize, at the beginning of this year, Google's, AlphaGo, right, has been really great in terms of a Go, competition, right? That basically means, in the next couple of years, even the Moore's law work on out, we potentially can see the software and hardware combined have a much greater computing powers. So I talk about the human knowledge database thing. And those are the two things give us profound confidence that we potentially can leverage machine to augment the human knowledge, working together with human to create a better world. But on the other hand, in terms of we human beings do dread machines potentially can be evil, but machines actually not evil. It's the human creator who created the machines. Those are bad guys. Those are the guys we should be afraid of, and we should make sure they are quarantined or they are being controlled. There got to be some kind of check and balance in terms of how technology progress and how our human race can be survival by the end of the day.
So I would like to add something. I have a little bit of a different opinion here, because I think evolution, humans have also always been improving, right? And humans have always been, if you look at a human from millions of years ago, that's a different human than we are today, because we've evolved and we've become better. So in a way, maybe technology is going to be the next step there. Maybe in the future, robots are going to take over, but maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe that's the future. That's exactly what we should be working towards. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're going to go extinct anyway. There's going to be a better human, or there's going to be a better robot.
Yeah, so we are here, we are keep talking about future and strong AIs, but so when do you guys think the future will arrive? In 10 years or 20 years or right now? Yeah. Yesterday, okay. So do you guys have a roughly idea, or we don't know yet?
The future keeps arriving, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Then for the healthcare.
Yeah, I think maybe I speak from the point of view of healthcare, and I have 2 points. I think one, always should be problem-driven. So I think it's never going to be new technology come out, how we apply it, but really identifying the value proposition of what is the problem we want to solve here. Mm-hmm. And I think that's definitely going to help with the adaptation part. And the second point is in terms of really translating the technology or new innovation into real practice. I think sometimes, that's the importance of having a multidisciplinary team. Sometimes the one who are selling the product and the innovation shouldn't be the tech person. Actually, the industry expert, they should be the lead. And if they really also embracing the problem that the technology can be able to solve, then maybe the tech people should partner with the industry people, particularly in health and the elder care, that they work together to promote and to adapt the innovation into real practice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In terms of biology, if you look at, say, Moore's law, mm-hmm. which has been used to try to predict where computer chips are going, that is, that the amount of processing power you have will double every 18 months. And then you plot with that DNA sequencing, which we saw some great examples of, and DNA synthesis. So our abilities to read and write DNA, those are increasing much faster than Moore's law. Yeah. In terms of sequencing now, we're enormously fast. In terms of writing, we're pretty fast too. It's hard to predict where those are going to go in the future, but as the costs come down, our ability to engineer biology is going to be tremendous. And it has a lot of consequences for the human race in terms of our ability to correct inborn errors in DNA and other things.
Mm-hmm. So I heard a lot of people are saying the singularity point for technology or science is coming. So I wonder what's your opinion on this, especially for technology? Do you think we are ready? We are at the point, or what?
Who doesn't want more technology, right? I mean, we're always going to want more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So
I think from my presentation, I try to emphasize on the application part. To me, technology is just a technology. right? So you have to identify the right application. So then this technology will be used. And I'm in the healthcare sector, right? For us, it's about to provide value to patients. Right? So you have a new technology, but you need to identify the value. Then you can, deliver the value to patients.
But it's a give and take, because then once you've got that new application, then that drives better technology, right? We see this all the time in sequencing, for instance. We decided, okay, we want do one sequence one human, and then that drove the technology to try to get it down to 1,000, and then that drives all these other $1,000 a genome, that drives all these other applications. So there's a lot of give and take there.
Yeah, so I think another question I really want to ask is because all of our speakers are from very distinctive background. So I'm very interested on, besides the cutting edge project, we are also interested in the real human behind this work. So I was wondering what or why you guys are, to get you so passionate about the work you are doing now. And because also in our audience, we have a lot of university students here, so maybe your idea can also intrigue them about their future work.
I could start with that. So you could probably tell from my talk that I've been a musician for a long time. It's been in my family for a long time. So I was studying music from the age of 4, but also was into computers as a teenager and sought a way to combine those two things, which led me to study music technology. And in working in the audio industry in Silicon Valley is actually where I started to study psychology of hearing, and ended up studying that in graduate school.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Seems to be opportunity for a free shameless plug, I'll talk about why this is a plug. One of the reasons I joined a company which was rooted in gaming industry that you guys do know certain gaming industry companies are so successful, they rake in millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars every single day, right? And they hire me to spend that money. So you gotta believe, you have to do something great, even greater than you potentially possibly can control, right? So, but basically to cut it very short, that I will be very open-minded if any of these, audience are interested in joining a company with Chinese root, but they are, they do have the, a grand goal of building something that potentially can compete on a world stage for the first time. According to my past 20 years of experience, across the Pacific, for the first time I do see, I don't give a damn about BAT companies. Those companies are big, but they don't have souls, We are talking about for the first time that we do have a Chinese company that can do something with pretty big souls. That may be exaggerated, but given time, we'll see. We'll see. I welcome any talent, any people who are interested in joining such kind of company with the ambition, with a lot of attention to human knowledge.
So if I have any advice to university students, that is quit finance, do entrepreneurship. No, I'm kidding. But I think what drives me to do this is the last sentence I said, happy, create social value. Yes.
I always give students advice to pick what you really love, because if you pick something you really love doing, you're going to work hard at it, and if you work hard at it, chances are you're going to be successful. And that will then drive you to do more things. So pick what you love.
Yeah, I second that. Very simple. If you pick what you love, it's very easy to work hard at it. So.
Yeah, I agree too. So I did a lot of transitions in my career, but saving lives was my, the first thing I want to do. So my first job was OBGYN, so I was a physician. So then I saw enough newborn disorders, so I switched to genetics. I thought, as a doctor, what I could do is very limited. So research may give me a better chance to save lives. And later my father got cancer, so then I switched to oncology. And also I believe new technology can solve those issues. So I moved to genomics. So you see all the transitions, basically, I see there are problems I cannot solve. I want to use new ways to solve those issues. Basically, just go with my original passion because I want to save lives.
Cool. Yeah, I think our time is up. So thank you so much for sharing with us. I deeply appreciate it. And I think that's all we have for this year. Thank you to join us. Hope to see you guys maybe next year. Yeah, thank you.